Warm greetings to all my students of grade 7. Today we are going to see a new chapter from the NCRT science book, and the name of the chapter is Nutrition in Animals. Among the human system or the human body, one of the major system which does various functions in our body and provide us enough energy is nothing but our digestive system. It is a system in which the complex substances which cannot be utilized as such will be broken down into simpler substances by the process called as digestion using the digestive system. There are four major functions of this digestive system. The first one is ingestion of food. The intake of food through our mouth into our body is nothing but called as the ingestion of food. The second function is to break down the complex substances into a simpler ones. The third major function of the digestive system is to absorb the necessary molecules into the bloodstream. And the fourth function is to remove the indigestible remains from the body. As I said earlier, there are four stages to convert the complex food substances into simpler ones. The first step or the first stage is ingestion, which is nothing but taking in of food. The second step is digestion of the consumed food. The third step is absorption, taking off the essential nutrients from the digestion by the respective cells. And the fourth stage is egestion, removing the leftover wastes from the body. There are several parts involved in the digestive system. Let's see them one by one. The first major part starts from the teeth. The teeth helps us to chew or grind the food what we take in. The salivary glands which is present in our mouth helps to produce saliva and hence helps to mix with the food whatever we are chewing or grinding in our mouth. The third part is the tongue. The tongue helps to push the food into the esophagus. The next major part involved in the digestive system is the mouth. We chew with the teeth which we have in our mouth and break down all the complex substances into simple pieces. And also the tongue mixes the food with saliva and helps to move further down to the esophagus. Before it moves to the esophagus part, there is a flap-like structure at the back of the throat that closes the trachea and prevent the food from entering into the windpipe, which is nothing but the epiglottis. The teeth, which helps us to chew or break down the complex substances into simpler substances, are of four types. They are commonly named as incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. The tongue is not only a muscle, but it is a group of muscle, and it is also which we use to taste the food. There are some raised areas which are nothing but called as papillae. Actually, we can see the papillae, and inside the papillae there are so many taste buds and about hundreds of receptors present in them, which actually helps us to taste the different kinds of food what we eat. The tongue pushes this bolus further down into the esophagus. Esophagus is a muscular tube through which the food passes from the mouth to the stomach. And the food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. The food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of the food pipe. And this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food further downwards. At times, when the food is not accepted by our stomach, it is vomited out. This picture clearly shows how the bolus enters into the stomach through the movement which takes place throughout the esophageal tube. To enter into the stomach, the bolus must pass through the esophageal sphincter, which is a tight muscle which keeps the stomach's acid out of the esophagus. Stomach is a J-shaped muscular bag that stores the food and breaks it down further into tiny pieces. It consists of gastric juices and also contains enzymes to break down the proteins and fats. The hydrochloric acid in the stomach kills the bacteria. The food normally found in the stomach is called as chyme. The chyme is now enters into the small intestine. 90% of the absorption occurs here. The liver and the pancreas also help the small intestine to maximize the absorption of necessary molecules. Small intestine is roughly of 7 meters long, and the lining of the intestine walls has a finger-like projections called as villi, which increases the surface area of absorption. The villi are further covered in with microvilli, which further increases the surface area for the absorption process. The nutrients from the food passes into the bloodstream through the walls of the small intestine. Absorption process takes place for the vitamins, for the minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, as well as for the ingested water. And it also secretes some digestive enzymes. Liver and pancreas are one of the major glands present in the digestive system. Liver is a reddish brown gland and it is one of the largest glands in the human body. It produces bile juice and it is stored in the gallbladder which breaks down fats. Pancreas also secretes juices to reduce the acidity of the chyme. Bile contains bile acids, which is involved in the digestion and absorption of fats. All the bile does is emulsification, which breaks the large fat globules into smaller fat droplets. The large intestine is just about 1.5 meters long. It absorbs the nutrients which are left behind by the small intestines. The end of the large intestine is the rectum. Here are some of the functions of the large intestine. The bacterial digestion and fermentation of carbohydrates takes place here. The absorption of additional water also takes place in the large intestine. And it is in the large intestine the concentration of the wastes takes place to the maximum. All the leftover waste is compacted and stored at the end of the large intestine called as the rectum. When it is full, the anal sphincter loosens and the waste passes out of the body. Hope you all understood the complete process of digestion which takes place in the human body. If you really like my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like, share and comment your views. Thank you.